Been a while, Skyquake.
Optimus Prime. I haven't seen you since the Battle of Technar. It will be a shame to crush you, Bug, but it is my duty.
Welcome back to the Tiger Hands Spy, coming at you with the APC Gear Factory Bolt TFP Skyquake modified version, and this is a Transformers Prime figure, and it is a fourth party improved. That's the modified version. Sort of the same mold as the one we just got, but it is still a very striking figure. Looks pretty good. Shows he did send this out to me, so you can get yours. It shows you have a link down below where you can get yours. But let's take a look at this guy. Let's compare this to the previous one that came out in blue and take a look at it and do a few other comparisons coming up. All right, so here is the packaging. Here is the box, and let's get in on that. And it's similar to the other one we got. Same type of art, except this is all got some green and orange to it and stuff. It shows the plane. And then here's how it's packed inside there. You've got the foam, and then you got this gun and some other pieces here. Additional heads, I guess, to swap out. Guns. Sword. This is starting to all feel familiar. All right, so here he is right out of the package. And I think he looks really good, actually. The thing about it is that he comes with this giant gun. We're going to take a much better look at that here in a second. And yeah, probably should have his hand flipped around the other way. And he's got a lot going on with him, with his wings and all that kind of stuff. And as you see, I'm moving around, he's rocking, but he's a pretty stable figure. And so was the other one that they made. And it looks really nice. The paint accents with the green coloring and then a nice sheen to it, which really does work. And that's not a bad amount of plastic for what you get for $45. Now, again, it is a, I don't want to use the word KO, but I just use the word KO. It is a fourth party. It is an improved fourth party version, though. And they made some improvements over the original, but I don't have the original, so I can't show all of that. But let's get a look here on this giant gun, because I think that's like the main difference that we're getting. So it's got some paint. Let's not have some glare. I got a lot of light going on here. Let's not have too much glare. I got some paint right here on this, paint in the back. It's got the two handles. Now you would want to have his hand turned a different way. I actually had a pose where it was slung over his shoulder, and that's why it's in that configuration. But we have some stuff going on down here. I guess this could be a handle down here also, if that's something that you want. I'm not sure how you'd get his hand around that just right, but it might also just be for looks. And there's just a lot going on with this thing. And I was thinking for a bit that it would come out, but I feel like I've seen this exact gun before, but it does feel more like something that we've gotten from G.I. Joe Classified. Really it does, but still a cool looking gun overall. You get an 8-barrel 24688. It's an 8-barrel gun, which is kind of interesting, kind of cool. And that in itself is one of the bigger changes for this versus the blue one. Let's take a quick look at his articulation, and we'll get in here on his head. Side to side, up and down. It gets up a bit because of the transformation, a little bit more than it probably should. The shoulder, now it can go all the way down here for transformation also, but if you get the pad out of the way, I mean, you can easily get past the 90. The pad's going to always be a problem, the shoulder pad. The 80s power shoulder pads, bicep swivel, got a little bit only single jointed on the elbow. The hand has more movement, I think, than the original. It'll kind of break the sculpt, though. It'll break it up if you do all that. You don't want to break that up. And no waist swivel that I can see in this guy. You can have a reverse ab crunch if you partially untransform it. He doesn't quite go to the 90 at the hip, to the side. It's all friction based, not quite to the 90 at the front. So it's a little short of the 90s in all directions. Remember, this is an older mold that's just been improved in some ways. 90 at the knee, right there. And then there is a toe rocker. And it can kind of go up and down a bit with a foot. And then if you really want, I mean, I think it's just, this is stability, but you can also do some other kind of stuff if you move that back. If that's a thing that you want to do. They give him some extra heads here, so I'm going to try to zoom in on it and decide which one I like the most. And that's the one I'll keep on him. But that one's kind of just a, what do they call it? Stoic. So I'm going to try to find the one with the most smirk, because that's the one. I like the smirky face. I think this dude will go well with a smirk. Put that in there. Now, zoom in on that. Does that have a smirk to it? Not really. It doesn't look a whole lot different than the one I just popped off. Hopefully the next one's got a smirky look to it. And I like it when it's easy to swap heads. There it is. There's some smirk. It's kind of got some attitude. Not a huge variation from one head sculpt to the other. And then we've got his sword. Now, the thing with his sword is, we're going to pull back a little bit here. It's the standard sword, just like the other one. And he's got that 5mm port. So he can hold it in his hand. For some reason, I kept thinking, I thought I was slick enough that I could get it over this. Because it just seems like it should work, you know? You got two of these little ports here, which I know they're for transformation, but I would think that could hold. But anyway, because that just looks like where it should go. Anyway, he can put it on his wing, which you can, that's for an alt mode thing. You can put it on the designated hole in his back. And then it's not really going to do anyone any... Come on, get in there. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the only options we have for it. It is a pretty clean bot overall, too, because you're looking around for holes. So when you're looking for holes to stick this 5mm port, and you realize it's not plagued with them everywhere, yeah, it looks clean. All right, now we got the blue one here, which is either Dreadwind or Dreadwing, and it doesn't really, well, I guess it matters. I will probably link that video down below, more for transformation, I guess, but side by side, same figure, more or less. I mean, I guess they can both use some adjustments on their shoulder pads. His gun, I guess we can do the comparison on the gun too. That's the gun he came with versus the gun that this one came with. So different gun, modified versions here. I don't know. I don't think the original ones came with these guns. I don't know. I don't remember. The other thing is that this one over here has these removable bombs, kind of like ninja stars in a way, which are kind of cool. Which was something I don't think, I don't know. I don't think those were included with the original figures back in the day. So with all of that, let's get a little side comparison of them, because they are basically the same figure, but recolored, different accessories, and it works. I mean, we've been doing it since 1984 with Transformers, so there's no surprise there. And to bring in Megs and have one big happy family here, how about that? We got Megs in here, looking good, looking evil, very mean. I do like how Megatron is still bigger than them. Now these are all the APC fourth party versions, and I don't know, that Megatron still looks fantastic. I mean, it's not my era so much, but still impressed with the look of this guy. And one last comparison. And here he is next to Optimus Prime. That's Magic Square. And Fans Toys Devastator Torso. Well, you can get the sense of scale right there. Now for transformation, I'm going to try to make this more efficient than the last one, meaning faster. I didn't show the opening and closing hands on this, which is the same as the other one, but I just didn't show it. So we're going to put the hands away, tuck the hands away. We can pull the arms down. We are going to lift up on the head and then fold it down, kind of get it out of the way. We're going to disconnect this, kind of the reverse thing that we had going on there. And then we are going to fold this up. That's already down. These are going to come down here and connect to here. It's nice and tight. Tight like that. Then we are going to have that right there. That's aligned. This comes down and tabs into this like so. Same thing on the other side. This comes down here, tabs into this. So, and yeah, just you're going to work your way down it and it's going to sort of disconnect as it goes. Hold up a second. That should have stayed. So much for efficiency. So much for the efficiency. That should have helped keep that piece in place with these guys here. All right, got to pop back there, and I'll try to keep it steady. See, keep it nice and tight. These pieces here will fold up and tab in, fold up, tab in. Let's get all the tabs tabbed in. Tab, 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 tab-tastic. These come down right there. All right, so we got the top done. Moving to the bottom, we need to. At this point, we can go ahead and do the legs, the feet. Fold them up. Fold them up. The feet. And this is going to fold up into here. We need to get these arms down and configured. So this, we need to have the tab to the inside and then the slot to the inside, and we're going to bring them up. Also, we need the nicer section facing up. And what we're going to do is fold these up into themselves and then tab these into tab, slot, tabs. All right. Tab, slot, tab, slot. Okay, it's real simple. It's simple in theory. It's nice tight tabs too. And I might have positioned the hands a little wrong so you can get in there a little tighter. Flip the hands around a little different. But I'm not really too worried about it. Tab. Now we got to get the legs. So the way the legs work is you pop this open, flip these to the... Open the legs, flip these in here. Now these are going to tab into little tabs here. This is a tab, and then there's a hole here. There's a hole in my chest that can only be filled. Guess we'll just leave that out. By you. And then all we have to do is connect the rest of the stuff. This will turn sideways. Yes, sideways. And I did develop like a patented connection section, but there is this tab and there's a hole right there that connects, but it takes a lot of pressure, just a lot of pressure, and then put this back in place, and this will tab into this here. So I'm gonna do that on the other side. Position this leg just right with the wing, press it in, lots of pressure, and then tab these wings in here. Here he is in the alt mode, and I did clean him up a little bit off camera. I was trying to get I don't want this to be as long of a transformation. It's not really hard. It's just getting it together at the end. Okay, two things real quick on the transformation, which that even kind of went out. I keep popping out. The hands do need to be with the red to the inside. And that's about it. Like once you get that right, but now that's out of whack. Anyway, it's not a big deal to me because it's only gonna be in this. I like the bot mode more. Although this is an excellent looking alt mode. It looks fantastic. If I was gonna keep it in this mode, I would fix my forearms back there. But yeah, everything tabbed in fine. It's supposed to look like thrusters, not like that. But Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Cockpit, does it open? I remember thinking it did. Looks like it does. Well, anyway, the nice colors. It is translucent, transparent, and does have a real good look about them. This landing gear can fold up and away. The other two are static that are connected to the leg, and that's fine. This piece just kind of chills right there. Nice looking alt mode overall. Yeah, would be fun if there was some interaction with some sort of like a human character or something. Ah, man, how dare I say that? Here he is armored up in configuration number 1, numero uno configuration. So there is a 5mm port on this that you can plug that in. And it looks kind of mean, tough, and a little bit overkill. A little bit of overkill. And the sword can go there. So, and then there is a 5mm port here for configuration number 2. Yes, I stuck the sword in his rear and his cannon on his top. And it is a thing you can do. Looks pretty cool. Like this. I mean, it's insane. Why not just have fun with it, right? That's what it's all about. It's about fun. And fun can be had with this guy. And now to compare him to some airplanes-ish esque. So these are, okay, let me see if I remember. This one's Magic Square, because it doesn't have as much bling. And this is the New Age version of Six Shot. So obviously he's going to be bigger than Legends, but not a whole lot. Like, not massively bigger than a Legends figure in jet mode. But I mean, Six Shot does run big for that. But let's compare him to, out of all the airplanes you can compare him to, the greatest airplane ever. Let's compare him to Jetfire. Well, this really isn't Jetfire. This is sort of a Robotech Valkyrie. Let's do that comparison right there. And you can see size-wise. So he is smaller than a Jetfire. But again, not by a lot. Not by a ton. But yeah, pretty cool jet. This is a classic. So this is my look at the APC Toys Gear Factory Bolt TFP Skyquake modified version. It's a mouthful. But you can get one at Show Z if you're interested in this. And I did get mine from Show Z. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. But I think it's a pretty decent figure overall. Pretty solid. I mean, pretty much the same thing as the last one, the Dreadwing that I looked at. And I might actually link that video below also, if you want to check that one out. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you like this figure? Are you into this era? Like and subscribe. And Tidyr, I'm hanging around.